It may seem hard to believe, but there are still remaining fears and stigmas that stop some people from seeking help for mental illness. N.A.M.I, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, is all about replacing those fears with knowledge and understanding. Bernice Drumheller, the president of the Western Massachusetts chapter of N.A.M.I, sat down with me recently to talk about the work being done on a major event coming up for their group.
Over the years, there has always been the stigma. But now we're starting to have the conversation. We're getting to train the police. We're getting to make the CEOs of the workplace aware that people can be productive, but they could also lose a lot of productivity when people, especially are dealing with depression on the job. Their productivity goes down. So if companies are aware and we train them, or let's say educate them is more the word, they will be able to better understand and get more productivity from the people who are actually suffering on the job with being afraid to come forward.
And there still is
Yes,
that fear,
there
that
still
stigma.
is that fear.
And I'm sure
Yes.
certain jobs, maybe more than others,
Right.
if you're in a position where you deal with the public or you're out in the street or some sort of, I don't want to say public safety, but I did say it. But obviously, there's still a lot of pressure on a lot of folks out there to feel they have to hide a
Yes,
concern or a problem they may have. Huh?
And the big thing is the media, the way they look at things, the way they play it up.
Yeah.
When they're talking negatively about mental illness, this does affect the whole, it affects families, it affects the workplace, it affects everything. The media plays an important role in helping people to try and understand mental illness. And also, a lot of people get the feeling that mentally ill people are violent, and that is so untrue. The majority of mentally ill people are the victims rather than the perpetrators.
You came to us, literally, for this taping from a crisis intervention training event for first responders,
Right.
for police officers. How important is it for police, and I guess it's kind of obvious, but I want to hear you comment on it, police, the folks who do respond to an emergency situation, to be able to quickly recognize, this is someone who has a mental illness, and to be able to respond appropriately. It's better for everyone involved, the officers themselves, as well as the person who may be mentally ill.
Yes, and now I am so pleased that police departments in all the various towns in Western Mass are sending their officers for 40-hour crisis training. And during this training, they can actually learn how to see the signs of someone who is mentally ill. And a lot of times there's people who are on the streets that they really know constantly. They're being called to observe or check. I know I have a son who suffers from schizoaffective disorder, and the best thing that happens when he's in a crisis is that the police accompany the crisis people from the training to come and talk and try to control the situation. And it also helps to keep people out of jail, where it seems to be the catch-all for a lot of mentally ill people now. That seems to be the new hospital.
Well, in fact, I saw something not long ago. I don't want to belabor this because we got other things we want to talk about and our time is going fast, but Cook County Jail in Chicago is basically the largest mental treatment institution in the country right now, because there are hundreds and hundreds of people there who need to be in a mental health treatment bed, a medical facility, as opposed to locked up. And that's happening a lot today.
Oh, it is. It is. and Bridgewater has been in the news a lot lately as not a place that mentally ill people really want to go.
The treatment options are
Right.
not really there compared to a true mental health treatment facility.
And a lot of the mentally ill people commit crimes because a lot of them are dealing with substance abuse, dual diagnosis. And so they're probably stealing so they can get their drugs or whatever they need, heroin.
In the system.
Yes, and they end up in the system, and they're self-medicating. That's what they're doing. They're self-medicating.
Much needed.
So much.
There's so much good work going on.
Yes.
And everybody can support it. Journey of Hope and Recovery, Saturday, May 15th, the walkathon at Stanley Park. Bernice Drumheller, good luck. Hope you have great weather
Thank you.
on the 15th. Thanks for coming in.